jy in my bly en my woorde in jou. Dit is hoekom ons so klem lê op die feit dat ons moet die woord vashou. Eerste ding wat ons moet doen is waak en bid. Markus 13 vanaf vers 32. Maar van daardie dag en die uur weet niemand nie, ook nie die engele nie, ook nie in die hemel of die see nie, maar net die Vader. Pas op. Waak en bid. Want julle weet nie wanneer die tyd daar is nie. Dit is soos 'n man wat op 'n reis is en sy huis agterlaat en sy diensknegte volmag gegee het en vir elkeen sy werk en aan die deurwagter bevel gegee het om te waak. Waak dan. Want julle weet nie wanneer die eienaar van die huis kom nie. In die aand of in die middernag of met die hane gekraai of vroeg in die môre nie. Dat hy nie miskien skielik kom en julle aan die slaap vind nie. En wat ek vir julle sê, sê ek vir almal. Waak. Waak. We need to focus. And I had a look at what this means. Watch and pray. The word translated watch means to have an alertness of a guard at night. A night watchman must be even more vigilant than a daytime guard. In the daytime, danger can often be spotted from a distance. But in the night, everything is different. I mean, at one stage, Irma and Dion and myself, we were involved in neighborhood watch. We didn't do it during the day. We did it from 12 o'clock till 4 o'clock at night, in the morning. A night watchman must use senses other than sight to detect danger. He is often alone in the darkness and without the defenses he would otherwise employ. There may be no indications of enemy attack until it happens, so he must be hyper-vigilant, suspecting it at any moment. That is the type of watching Jesus spoke about. It can happen any moment. I remember a video clip that we at one stage we had a look at. And the pastor said it can even happen now. And when he did this, there was nobody in the church. Just a couple of people. All the others had closed the line. It can happen. Like that. Pastor, hulle is nog hier. Ons is nog alright. Barclay said, we began by saying that it was a very difficult chapter. But that in the end it had permanent truth to tell us. One, it tells us that only the man of God can see into the secrets of history. Jesus saw the fate of Jerusalem, although others were blind to it. A real statesman, now we're not talking about statesmen, we're talking about ordinary people. But a real statesman must be a man of God. To guide his country, a man must be himself God-guided. Only the man who knows God can enter into something of the plan of God. If we don't know him, he will say to you and to me, I don't know him. Go away from me. Secondly, he tells us two things about the doctrine of the second coming. It tells us that it contains a fact we forget or disregard at our own peril. Many a times people don't want to listen. People don't want to hear. Wilma was by 'n begrafnis Vrydag. En sy kom by my en sy sê vir my, sy is ontstel. Ek sê hoekom? Sy sê want hierdie ouetjie sê, die prediker wat daar sê is, almal gaan hemel toe. Almal. Maar kyk, ons wil ons nie sê 'n ou wat oorlede is, gaan dit nie maak nie. As jy dit nie kan sê nie, dan praat jy die evangelie. Maar jy vertel nie vir mense almal gaan hemel toe. Mense wil dit glo. Dis 'n gemaklike gospel. It's an easy gospel. If I tell people, you don't have to worry, you can do what you want, you're going to go to heaven in any way. Why should people repent then? Of what? That's disturbing to me. It tells us that the imagery in which it is clothed in the imagery of Jesus' own time, and that to speculate on it is useless, when Jesus himself was content not to know. The one thing of which we can be sure is that history is going somewhere. There is a consummation to come. There is an end to history. There is a time where everything will end. Time as such will end. It tells us that of all things to forget God and to become immersed in earth is most foolish. The wise man is he who never forgets that he must be ready when the summons come. If he lives in that memory, for him the end will not be terror, but eternal joy. Secondly, we must pray to be counted worthy. Luke 21 verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest your hearts are weighed down with headaches and drinking and anxieties of this life. Does that sound familiar? I mean, there's how many people so addicted to painkillers and drugs in order to just to cope with the day-to-day living. They cannot function unless they had a fix of some sort. And that day should suddenly come on you, for it shall come as a snare on all those sitting on the face of the whole earth. And then Jesus says, watch therefore, praying in every season that you may be counted worthy to escape all these things which shall occur, and to stand before the Son of Man. Pray that you will be counted worthy to escape all these things. Barclay says, there is a stressed need to be upon the watch. The Christian must never come to think that he is living in a settled situation. He must be a man who lives in a permanent state of expectation. A novelist in one of her books has a character who will not stoop to retain to certain things that others do. I know, she said, that someday the great thing will come into my life, and I want to keep myself to take it. We must live forever in the shadow of eternity, in the certainty that we are men who are fitting or unfitting themselves to appear in the presence of God. There can be nothing so thrilling as a Christian life. Thirdly, we must look for the coming of the Lord. When we open our eyes in the morning, we actually should be saying, maybe today. I think Dave's profile says that. Maybe today. Am I right, Dave? Maybe today. Miskien vandag is die dag. Ons kan uitsien daarna. Maar aan die ander kant moet ons ook bekommerd wees. Want daar is duisende mense wat dit nie gaan maak nie. En miskien kan ons net in hierdie dag wat dit dalk kan gebeur, net met een ou kommunikeer. Ek kyk na 'n DVD wat kerk hulle vir ons geleen het. En ek kan nie ja. Dit was the singing contractors. Twee ouens, een ou is redelik fris, ander ou is bietjie nie so fris nie. En 'n lang baard, lyk soos Abraham Lincoln, hulle het ook gesê, maar in elk geval. En hulle tree op by verskillende plekke waar bouers bymekaar kom. En hulle het een plek opgetree En na die tyd toe kom haar groot ou na hom toe. En hy sê vir hom, hy wys vir hom iets en hy sê, you got me. Die boodskap het hy gekry. Net een, miskien, uit 200 of 100, wie ook al daar was. Maar as daar net een is dit die moeite werd. Revelation, waar is ek is nie daar nie. Hebrews 9 verse 27, and as it is appointed to men once to die, but after this the judgment. So Christ was once offered to bear the sins of many, and to those who look for him, he shall appear the second time without sin to salvation. He shall appear to whom? To those who look for him. Barclay says the following, Christ dies and rises and comes again, and he comes not to be judged but to judge. The early church never forgot the hope of the second coming. It throbbed through their belief. But for the unbeliever, that was a day of terror, as Enoch had it of the day of the Lord before Christ came. For all who are sinners, there is no salvation, but upon you all will come destruction and a curse. In some way the consummation must come. And then, if in that day Christ comes as a friend, it can be only a day of glory. If he comes as a stranger or as one whom we have regarded as an enemy, it can be only a day of judgment. A man may look to the end of things with joyous expectation or with shuddering terror. What makes the difference is how his heart is with Christ. Hoe kyk ons? Wat is ons verwagting? Die vierde ding, ons moet onsself reinig van alle besoedeling. 2 Korintiërs 7 vers 1. Hy sê, terwyl ons dan hierdie beloftes het, geliefdes, laat ons, laat die Here nie, laat ons van alle besoedeling van die vlees en die gees reinig. En laat ons die heiligmaking en die making in die vrees van God volbring. Laat ons, nie iemand anders nie, ons, ek. Hebreërs 12 vers 1, hy sê, daarom dan, terwyl ons so 'n groot wolk van getuies rondom ons het, laat ons ook elke las aflê en die sonde wat ons so maklik omring, en met volharding die wedloop loop wat voor ons lê. Die Bybel sê vir my in 'n gedeelte, hy sê die sonde lê en loer. Bybel sê in 'n ander gedeelte, die dief loop rond, Satan loop rond soos 'n brullende leeu, om te sien wie hy kan verslind. En wie gaan hy verslind? Is diegene wat nie hulle self ondersoek en reinig. As ons nie ons fokus het op die woord van die Here nie, wil ek vir u sê, dan is dit maklik vir die vyand om te kom, en voordat hy jou kom kry, het jy geval. Dank die Here vir 1 Johannes 1 vers 9. Wat sê, as ons sondes bely, God is getrou en regverdig, om ons die sonde te vergewe en van alle ongeregtigheid te reinig. Daar is sekere dinge wat u en ek moet doen, om voor God te staan. Daar is sekere dinge wat slegs deur die Here alleen gedoen kan word. Hy is die enigste een wat die sondes kan wegvat. Maar wanneer ons dinge doen, dan moet ons dit bely en ons moet dit laat staan. En ons moet gewillig wees om te laat gaan. We must be willing to let go.